Hello. I know Sunday nights are kind of weird, but I need to get a little bit more done on these controllers. I'm a little behind. Oh, thanks for the super chat. The 8-bit guy 100% confirmed to be a lizard. Lizard people! Yeah, he probably is a lizard. Yeah, but Bud was trying to jump up on the other part of the table where all the Commodores are piled up, and I was like, no, you can't do that. No more s'mores. Oh, got my PC over there. I think it's done time for it. I think that was the PC we had on the show, like the shop PC, but I turn it on and it sounds like all the fans are like wheezy and stuff. So I think I just turned it off for the last time. Old yellow computer. Maybe I'll turn it into a Linux box. Because obviously that's what I need is more Linux boxes. Let's say I printed up a bunch of these tab holders. Yeah. Because it worked pretty good if it used carbon fiber for the base, even though carbon fiber filament's kind of a joke, but it seems to work out pretty well. Carbon fiber base and then PLA clasp. The one design feature, I think I changed it in the file, but after I printed all of these, is that you have to have a little bit of a chamfer here for when you slide the tab in. That computer is still trying to turn off. Can you hear it in the background? Maybe not. It's like... That computer is now worthless. Hello, Gavin Lee. Pokemon pinball game coming out next from Stern. That's the rumor, yes. I actually became a regular spooky employee last week. And I had to sign an NDA, and I was like, wait a minute, how come I never had to sign this before? So, like, pretty much all the manufacturers know what everyone else is making. So that's why I'm like, that's the rumor. I don't want to say anything, like, specific. Yeah, I think it... Wait, no. I don't know what's going on, but yes, I've heard that rumor myself, and it seems very plausible. I've heard this bedtime story as well. I was thinking about replaying the Indiana Jones Great Circle game in New Game Plus mode. I think you have all your abilities at the beginning. So you can be like a good brawler. I don't know if I'll actually do it though. Oh, hey Sonny, thanks for the $20 Australian. Am I breaking memberships again? No, I never. It's a fake anonymous tip. Oh no! I actually did, when I did my charity stream, I actually did get a decent number of anonymous super chats. But, I mean, the money was real for the St. Jude charity. Oh, did that computer finally turn itself off? Oh, I need to do like a RAM check on it. I think it might have some bad RAM. Fatal flaw these days. Well, you'll be happy, Sonny. Like one of my dead Windows 10 computers, I think I might turn it into a Linux machine, even though I don't know if I really need it. Already got so many Raspberry Pis. Thanks for the super chat. How crazy the Pokemon card market is. Oh yeah, it's like tulip fever. Oh, I actually got a message from the slow-mo guy today. Apparently he bought a Texas Chainsaw Massacre pinball, and he's like, "Oh, I saw your name in the credits." I'm like, "Is that Ben Heck?" I'm like, "Yep, it's." And he's like, "Oh, Then he was like, He's like, "I just made a video about the Virtual Boy," and then he gave me the link, and I'm like, "Holy shit, it's this channel!" I did not know that guy was a pinball fan. Oh. Yeah, so I think maybe I'll like do this part of the wiring today, and then maybe I had like some well, this guy ordered 4 of these, and normally that would be like 4 weeks work, but that's kind of too slow, although I told him I'd try to get it done in February, but I had other orders come in. I think one of the reasons I'm like well, I mean, obviously the economy sucks, but like the reason I've thought that for a while now is like this stuff, I went from having like a Christmas rush. Like I haven't had a Christmas rush on these since 2022. It changed in 2023. But when I do see the rush is tax return time. So that's definitely something different I've noticed. Just my little tiny corner of the economy. I don't know. I mean, Pokemon's 30 years old, so it's definitely in the nostalgia window. I think it'll do well. What does full-time employment mean? So when I did Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I was working on it 4 days a week. So I spent like probably about 18 months. Yeah, about 18 months on that, 4 days a week. Then when we got to Evil Dead was February of 2024 is when we started that. And I had to program a shippable game. I had about 10 months, which is pretty fast. So at that time, I was like, well, I'll just do this 40 hours a week. No, I was 1099. So yeah. But yeah, I still work from home. Although I told them that I'd be more than happy to go down there more often. Hell, I told them if they had some decent land down there, you know, maybe I could buy some land, because I want to buy some land, but the land down there there's not hardly anything for sale, and when it is, it's really expensive. Probably because the land is richer. You know, it's like actually agricultural land versus the center of the state where the land's not as good. Base stud theme was an age demo for new inbox pinball buyers. Oh yeah, it's definitely middle-aged white dudes, definitely. Probably. Well, actually, some younger people are getting into it. But one thing I always think about, like when I do the graphics, is I see so many pinball machines where there's all this tiny text on the screen, and I think, you do realize you're selling these to like 55-year-old men, right? Like, so I was like, why are you making a vision test? Like, these guys' eyes are shit. So actually, anything I do, I actually make sure that I can read the screen standing, 4 foot away or whatever the pinball machine, with my glasses off. That's my rule of thumb. So the text must be legible from 4 feet away with my glasses off. That's why I use like bold fonts and drop shadows and outlines, and because I hate when people are like, oh look, I've got all this resolution. I'm gonna use all the resolution. It's like, no, that's dumb. It's not a vision test. It's a pinball. Yeah, Pokemon would do great on taxes. Pokemon would do great on location. Yeah, Michael, that's kind of the thing. Like, I was actually just thinking, like, I wasn't that long ago, like maybe a week or two ago, I was thinking, wow, I've gotten back into the exact same situation as my show, where I'm working full-time, 9 to 5, but I'm 1099, so I have to do all that other stuff. And, yeah. So then, last time I was down there, the topic came up, and then they were like, oh, well, yeah, when we have dental. And I'm like, what? It was like Spider-Man. I'm like, what? So then I'm like, oh, well, yeah, so. But yeah, I've been working 40 hours a week for them anyway for 2 years now, so it's not like it's not really a big deal. Yeah, it's mostly middle-aged white. Yes, you're absolutely right. Well, I mean, but the thing is, like with nostalgia is about, remembering when you were 10 years old, It's like, oh, I was 10 years old and I didn't have... how do I put this? Like millennials who like Pokemon, they are now old enough to be wistful about something in the past. Now that they have a mortgage, or maybe they have kids. I know millennials didn't have a lot of kids, but or they have a mortgage or whatever, and they're like, man, things were so much better back in the 90s. Like they maybe can sort of remember the 90s, and financially things were better back in the 90s. So yeah, it's just nostalgia is just a mechanism by which you kind of remember the past. Yeah, so I think Pokemon will do well, especially like with all the RPG elements Stern has now, such as the Pin Insider system. They had actually quite a bit of that stuff for the Dungeons and Dragons game that they made, like where you could have like persistent stats per player if you log in using the app. We're in a depression, diet. Well, we are. We have the same unemployment rate as we did. Well, we've had that forever. Let's see. Oh crap. I wired that to the wrong place. That's ground. The nostalgia clouded my judgment. Okay, this is why. This is why we can't have nice things. Yeah, I think the arcade stuff is well, also it's like that's what like one thing that comes up a lot is like you could have a pinball machine and it could be like home use up, because like I think even like with Stern, I want to say it's like half of the games go into homes and half on location. Like Spooky, it's way more than half. The majority go into homes. But something that comes up a lot is like some people are like, You know, why does everyone demand there be a coin slot in it, even if this game is only ever going to be in someone's home? And it's because they want it to be as much like an arcade thing as possible, because that's kind of like the magic. Like, I have this arcade machine. And that actually happened during COVID. Strangely enough, like the pinball stuff got even crazier because, you know, you couldn't go anywhere, and so you had even bigger incentive to create like a bar in your basement. Let's see, TP21. And oh, wait a second. Ground Y. X. Oh, darn, I got that one mixed up too. This is all Bud's fault. A is one above B, and A is 21. Okay. Oh, hey, Dylan. Yeah, I know it's higher for Spooky than for Stern, but yeah, it's quite a bit. Yeah, Dylan, I tried to set my cat on that cat tree thing, and I don't know. We'll see if he's into it. Worst case, I could take it apart and maybe make something attached to the window. Maybe he'd rather have that. TP21. All right, better just double check. Let's see. Ground. X. A. All right, should be good. Yeah, there's also this big thing. Like Zoomers are like obsessed with retro analog mechanical things. Yeah, I guess like pinball, but like anything like record players or tape recorders, and I think it's very much akin to how the boomers were obsessed with cowboys and Indians. It's like you had like this mythic past in your country that you never experienced, but it kind of had like this like wild element to it. Because, you know, by the time you got to the boomers, like, you know, the most coddled generation in human history, well, the most coddled proletariat class in human history. Is that computer still trying to turn off? It's making some sort of noise. So yeah, then you have this thing where like, kind of like the rough romanticism of cowboys is kind of alluring. Well, Dylan, I might end up having to burn it myself. But I'll see if he likes it. But yeah, maybe I could make him like a cushion thing. I mean, those platforms are not quite big enough for him. Like Bud is like, oh yeah, I think you've seen Bud before. Bud is a very large cat. But yeah, I'll leave it by the window. We'll see if he takes a warm to it. Bud already has many places to sleep. He's got like the garbage box where he is right now. He's got a bed under the Evil Dead pinball machine. He's got a bed upstairs by my upstairs computer. So he's already got a number of places to sleep. It's the upstairs one, he can be right in the blast of the video card. So, you know, just like it's Not as warm as Starlink, but it'll do. Yeah, land was so cheap you just take it, or the government would give it to you. Yeah, Dylan, I actually did look at, like, was looking, see if there's any land down by you guys, but there's hardly anything for sale, and what was for sale was, like, really expensive. Like, Lucas was like, oh, here's a spot. And they wanted, like, $180,000 for 8 acres and, like, an uninsulated, like, cabin shed thing. And I was like, that's ridiculous. Like, in central Wisconsin, 8 acres would be, like, 75, 80 grand, maybe. But the land is not as good. It's all sandy. It's weird if you go, like, north, if you go, like there's a ton of stuff for sale by Dutch Hollow Lake. So that's still in, like, the rich land area, like rich land center. So I don't know. It's like, it's not like all the land, because the whole, like, southwest part of Wisconsin, there's, like, more hills and stuff, because apparently the glacier somehow didn't hit that, 15,000 years ago. And the land's a lot richer too. Like, you can, if you look at, like, a satellite map of Wisconsin, it's, like, really obvious. Like, the Southwest is completely different topography from the rest of the state. How many horse town is Benton? I don't know. I think there's, like, 900 people there. Are today's modern pins too complicated for young children? Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely. Because the buyers, like the pinball people, want, like, super insane rules. Which that's what the people spending the money want, but it probably is kind of gatekeepy for young. Although, like, kids don't really give a crap; they'll just, like, flip the flipper around and stuff. Spooky DJ there. He programmed the Beetlejuice game that just started production this month. I think they actually got the first few out the door last week. I think. There we go. Yeah, it's a good point, Dylan. I have seen some spots, like, again, up north, where it's so obvious that some old farmer died and his kids were slicing up the land, because everything will be, like, in, like, these long vertical strips. Yeah. And yeah, everyone wonders why there's so much high fructose corn syrup and everything. It's because we subsidize corn to the point of being free. All right, let's get in the small screws. Oh, wait. I need... Where is it? Is it this one? The driftless area? Yeah, I think, yeah, that's right. Well, apparently, if you have to do a well up there, sometimes you can do, like, a sandpoint well, so the wells can be a lot cheaper. So there are certain advantages to it. Actually, I saw a plot of land in Mauston that looked pretty decent. It was like 2.5 acres and, like, most of it was like woods, but it was still like on a plot of land. I don't know if it had a gas connection, because that's another thing that's really expensive about living in the country is propane. But it was like $34,000, which is pretty reasonable. And there's a lumber store south of it, so no Menards near it though. That's a problem. You probably have to. Shit, I don't know what the closest Menards would even be to that. Do they have a Menards in? I don't think they have one in Wisconsin Dells, do they? I don't think they do. I think I always like think the Menards is like Walmart, and then it's in every town with like 5,000 people, but it's not. I think they would probably do good if they were. Yeah, you know, south of Benton, there's a ton of stuff. It's really weird. Like, there's nothing in the southeast, but you go across the border, and like Galena, Illinois has tons of stuff for sale, but it's Illinois. Yeah, they have like, you know, like, oh, here's a 200-year-old miner's house. And it, 200-year-old miner, that's kind of an oxymoron. And, yeah, it's like not that expensive. I don't know. I'm going to keep looking. I need to, like, get a truck, too, if I'm going to, like, become homesteader, man. I did test drive another F-150 yesterday. So I still need to think about it. Maybe Chad could give me some advice, because it was a 2021, so I'm a little worried about like COVID cars. It had the regular V8, no EcoBurst. Well, they're asking $25,500 for it. 77,000 miles isn't. That's fine by me. As long as it's not over 100, I don't care. Yeah, it was pretty nice. Oh, and actually, the sales kid, his future brother-in-law worked at Spooky last summer apparently, because he was like, "What do you do for a living?" I'm like, "I program." And he's like, "Oh, what do you program?" And I'm like, "Pinball machines." Awkward conversation, and he's like, "Whoa, get out! My brother worked there. Or my brother-in-law worked there." Yeah, EcoBurst. That's the Ford EcoBurst. Oh, wait. Ford EcoBoost engine. I call it the EcoBurst. Okay, probably like 80% of the F-150s they make now are a 3.7 liter V6 EcoBurst engine. And they have almost as much horsepower and pulling capacity as the V8, but the engine's way more complicated. And there's two turbochargers on it versus like one on my Escape, so there's twice as much stuff that could go wrong. Yeah. So I talked to a couple car people I know and engine people, and they were like, "You should try to find a V8." So. Actually, yeah, so I actually did test drive one yesterday. Yeah, it was pretty nice. I don't know. I should just stop thinking about getting a truck and just do it. EcoBurst. Yeah, EcoBurst. It sounds like something a boomer would say. Got one of them daggum EcoBurst engines in it. Made in China. Up, left, right, up, down. All right, face buttons check out. Yeah, and you got to be really, you have to like be really, you had to get oil changes like right on the dot. And I think the timing chain, yeah, the timing, well, I think they all have timing chains now, but the timing chains can put more particulates into the oil, so it's one of the reasons you have to be more fastidious about it. It was a 6.5-foot bed. But I realized if you put the tailgate down, the 4x8 sheets would fit within the tailgate, so it actually probably isn't that bad. It had like these clamp, because the bed liner had these holes cut in it. And I was like, what's that all about? And he's like, oh, well, clearly the previous owner wanted access to these mounting things, so like in 4 different spots on the side of the rear bed, there are these things that look very much like Vesa mounts, where it was, you know, like a pattern of 4 screws. And he's like, yeah, you can attach things there and use it to like hold loads and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So that was kind of cool. Oh, I had the extended range gas tank too, so 36-gallon gas tank. Yeah, apparently the V8s don't get that much worse gas mileage than the V6s as well, so yeah. The acceleration did feel different, which I guess is to be expected. It felt more mechanical. Yeah, I don't know. Because I also tested a V6 with the EcoBurst. That one was nice. That one was like just like this blue jeans blue, which is kind of cool because, you know, most cars nowadays are black, white, or gray. I thought about it, and it was a lot cheaper than this one I just test drove, but yeah, ultimately, you know, my friends talked me out of the EcoBurst. Well, I mean, talked me out of another EcoBurst engine. You don't want 2 EcoBursts. Todd Tucky had a spooky pinball machine on the front. Oh, cool. Which one? Hopefully he didn't throw it off a roof. Yeah, Austin did a bark. I had to remove on my Escape. To replace the battery, I had to remove the windshield wipers, the cowl under the windshield. It probably took me about 2 hours to replace the battery. It was crazy. I was like, wow, this sucks. Like, the battery is crammed up in there so much that they actually added a ground point rod to the frame above the wheel. So if you had to jump start it, you could reach the positive terminal, but since you couldn't reach the negative terminal because it was buried under the windshield cowl, they added another, like, here, stick the negative terminal here point. Yeah, that sucked. The Escape does have a lot of horsepower for a 2-liter engine, but my engine buddy, he said it's kind of like high blood pressure, where you're kind of like overworking the engine, and over time, like your veins, it can just sustain excess damage and cause other problems. Oil pump belt in crankcase. Oil pump belt. Is that a bad thing, Joe Tech Collins? It sounds like it is. Oil pump belt is in the crankcase? So does that mean it's a timing chain for the oil pump? So that's different from the older 5 liters then, huh? So the engine is the same, but they change where the oil pump goes? I am not a car guy. I am not a lawyer. There's our impression of Reddit. It's a belt in the oil. They made it worse. That's what Ford does. Yeah. That looks pretty good. I think this makes me look pretty good. Okay, I gotta remember this part the first time. This is ground. Ground is ground. Save that wire. $12,000 pickup truck? Well, they don't do it. The Chinese will. And $12,000, no matter how many tariffs you slap on that, it's still going to be cheaper than our stuff. Let's see. They had some Ford Mavericks at that place I was at. The guy's like, oh, they're $30K new, which, again, these days, that's pretty cheap for... That would be cheap for a car, let alone a truck. I don't know. I assume they all have EcoBurst engines. Yeah, what's different from a Maverick and a Ranger, I wonder? Because Rangers are back. Is it like... Because Rangers aren't cheap anymore, so is Maverick the new cheapest truck for Ford? I don't know. I don't know why I like Ford. I know it doesn't make any sense. I'm not even going to try to justify it. It's like when I drink High Life. Actually, High Life is pretty solid. High Life is a very refreshing beer. Obviously, I only drink Wisconsin beers. Because why do I need to drink anything else? Oh wait, actually no, that's incorrect. That's one beer they have at the bar. Well, they had a lakefront, but then they replaced it with Dovetail, which is made in Illinois, New York City. The pins in Taiwan. I think he was on mainland China. Whatever happened to him? Hold on a second. Okay. That's a guy who stole the America's Most Haunted board set. Well, technically, America's Most Haunted was like open source, but he denied that he did it until we like called him out. I think he tried to make something else. I think like he hired J-Pop for some reason. Briefly, I'm pretty sure they're like done. Thunderbirds was pretty bad. Although actually it had a really good amplifier. I remember being impressed with how loud and clear the audio was. He was a bastard. Then again, he had a very impressive singing voice. But Chicago is the worst part of Illinois. I just do not like. Well, I'm from Wisconsin. State law, I have to hate Illinois. Hey, at least the Bears did pretty good this year. But yeah, but the rest of Illinois is just like this flat nothingness. Although, actually, Galena is really interesting. I'd actually never been to Galena before until like last summer, and I'm like, wow, this is a fascinating town. Galena is like okay, this is going to be really confusing. Galena is like the Wisconsin Dells of Illinois. Like, if fibs don't go to Wisconsin Dells, they go to Galena. Or Galena is kind of like the rich person Wisconsin Dells in Illinois. It's a really cool place. It's like this ancient town. Well, as ancient as a town can be in America. Which I guess isn't that ancient. It's just weird. You don't usually see buildings that old. I mean, I guess you see buildings that old in like large cities on the East Coast, but kind of weird to see like in this part of the country. Lake Geneva? Yeah, well, Lake Geneva is in Wisconsin. Lake Geneva is a nice place too. Well, Lake Geneva is way closer to Illinois than Wisconsin Dells is. You know, maybe if they get tired out, if they're on their trek to Wisconsin Dells and they want to ford the river and take a rest and look around, they can go to Lake Geneva. I went to a convention once there, and so that would be the Lake Geneva Convention. Actually, it was a Culver's convention. You know, I still remember, like, our trailer wiped out in the snow, and then we had to wait for someone to pick us up, and we went to this truck stop, and I remember they had a shadow pinball machine there. Yeah. That's about all I remember from that show. God, that was a long time ago. I think we were there for like 3 days. I guess it was fun. None of the other people I worked with drank, so they always gave me their drink tickets. So that part was cool. House on the Rock? Oh yeah, House on the Rock is cool. Is Robot World even still a thing? We went there as a kid, or when I was a kid. I'm sure it's like pretty cheesy now. And Tommy Bartlett had the extra mirror station there. Like, as in the Soviet mirror station. Apparently he bought it from them during the Cold War, or back when Russia was broke. Like after the fall. I wonder if that's still there. I never went to that, but that was always like, see the Mir Space Lab. Culver's convention. Oh, remember, Culver's doesn't make cheese curds. They use Cisco industrial cheese curds, and I always get triggered when people are like, "Oh yeah, I went to Culver's and I got cheese curds." Like, those aren't real cheese curds. They are frozen for one thing, and they have a crumb breading on them instead of beer batter. And the breading is way... Well, I have a whole YouTube video about this on my channel. I think it's like from 2021. It's pretty old. My niece is actually in it. But I think she was like 12 at the time, so I didn't actually have her out. She wasn't on camera. But, yeah, there's a whole episode about cheese curds. Oh, the Rob Zombie game? Oh, man, yeah, that's an old one. That game kind of, I don't know, that game was kind of clunky. That was like the first licensed game they made. And like, wow, we got a real artist to do the art. Although playfield art was kind of half-assed. Actually, it was very half-assed. I actually worked on that game a bit too. Not a whole, I didn't program it, but I did like, I helped like David with like some of the animations, and I storyboarded a lot of it. I actually worked on Alice Cooper's Nightmare Castle as well. I remember, yeah, there was a... We did like a spruce up section or a thing with Rob Zombie, and I was like, this game needs to be sexier. So I'm like, we need to like stick in random women, like, you know, going, I don't know. I just think I was like, you gotta sex this shit up. I wonder if that's still the only pinball machine that has like breasts in it. Maybe? I don't know. So I don't know. I'm just saying, if you're gonna have a game that has like sex stuff in it, like you might as well put a bunch of it in. Oh, let's see here. These are all lefties. I don't know why the guy wants 4 of them, but whatever. I gotta get these done. I gotta get these done so I can move on to other customers. The firmware, yes, David Fosma programmed. Rob Zombie used the. Rob Zombie was basically America's Most Haunted. Hardware was, yes, it was actually. It was the same as America's Most Haunted with the hardware, but it was bit banging a buffer to an FPGA to do the simulated color screen. But everything else worked just like America's Most Haunted. Like, it did not have the RGB LEDs in it, for instance. Uh-oh, that's not good. Right is stuck on. It's stuck up. The price of one-handed controllers? No, it didn't. I haven't raised my price on these in like 8 years. Inflation can suck my dick. Let's see. TP14. Yeah. Toilet paper 14. Deep Space Nine. Toilet paper 14. The Final Frontier. I need my toilet paper. Excuse me, what does God need with toilet paper? So I can get the internal wiring on these done tonight. Probably I'll probably be streaming tomorrow night as well, because I want to try to finish these 4 units. TP14, that is this guy right there. Wait, right? Up, down. Wait, right. Oh no, right is the... Right's the last one, right? I'm breaking my brain. It's... Oh, no, it is... Wait, it is right. Right. God, I've done these in autopilot for so long. When I start to think about it, like... I have... Oh, gosh. What is the last one? Last one is left. Left is TP15. Yeah, no, it's not left. It's right. Everybody got that? When is soon? Now! Can't believe it. I'm surrounded by assholes. What does God need with a starship? Well, it's definitely a short. I'm here to bring two humpback whales back to the 23rd century. If I have to, I'll go to the open sea to get them. I'd much rather have yours. You know what this could be? The existing D-pad might be shorted somehow. I thought I removed all of the whatever it's called from them. You know, that stuff. What does God need with a starship? I still think Star Trek V is not as bad as everyone says. I know I bring this up. And people are like, oh, God, not again. Oh, shit, Spaceballs. There goes this neighborhood. You are under arrest for violation of the verbal morality code. Man, Demolition Man aged really, really well. Who knew? I mean, we all knew Idiocracy was going to age well, but Demolition Man. And you know, Taco Bell is still sort of affordable. It's not, it's, I don't know. You know, you can go there, you can get like 3 crunchy tacos and an order of nacho fries for like 8 something, so that's not that bad. They should just bring nacho fries back forever. That should be like the 27th Amendment. Ah, the 27th Amendment. There's a new podcast with Data and Number One. You mean Brett Spiner and Jonathan Frakes? And he's like, it never happened. It's fiction. We made it up. Oh, yep, sure enough. I knew you were stupid, my friend. I didn't think you were a total frickin'... You know what? There's your problem. Let's blow these guys away. Blow them away.
Yeah, didn't people like not actually have sex in that either? Like, what's her face was like gonna have virtual sex. Oh, and then wasn't Dennis Leary in that, like as the king of the underground people? And he's like, I want to run around eating hamburgers naked or something like that. And yeah, aged very well. You know, Michael Wilson, that's a good point, but I mean, if you think about it, California kind of already does that. I mean, at least everything that's pictured in the movie is all, what don't they call it, like San Angeles, which is also, that's a good name. Yeah, they changed the name of it to San Angeles, didn't they? No Angels? But unfortunately for Wesley Snipes, in that future, you still have to pay taxes. Mr. Snipes, you're technically a 1099 employee. Yeah? Whatever happened to the other motherfucking 1,098 of them? That's not what it means, sir. There we go. Happy little clouds. Let's blow these guys. There's only one blade. There's only ever gonna be one blade. Blade Pinball? Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that was, yeah. That was definitely a movie that Gen X men were into. I say as a Gen X man. When you tilt the machine, it's like some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill. Why don't they just make an old Blade movie? It's like they spent like 4 years not making a new Blade movie. And God, how much money they spent not making that movie. And it's like, well, or you could just make, you know, old Blade. It's like, I mean, you brought him back already for Deadpool. Alexa, how old is Wesley Snipes?
Wesley Snipes is 63 years old.
He's only 63 years old. He could make 5 more Blade movies. Hey, remember Ryan Reynolds was in Blade 3. It came full circle. A physical Sonic pinball game? No, but there are rumors that somebody has that license. Yeah, so apparently, see, okay, I personally don't think video games are a good idea for pinball. I mean, I think Pokemon might be different, because Pokemon, I would say, is more than just a video game, but... yeah, there's rumors there's actually several possible video game pinballs coming out, like, in the near future, like everybody's trying one. We'll see. I don't know. I guess we'll see if I was wrong or right. Because I just have I don't know if I'm just like maybe like Street Fighter 2 pinball has soured me on the idea, because that is a god awful game. But I don't know. Up, down, right, left. Okay, good to go. Then I printed some more of these. Yeah, I can't remember did. I remember, like, they said, like, that was a movie where, like, what's his face spent the entire time in his trailer, and like that he like it's like he didn't even want to make the movie. Wesley Snipes. Jessica Biel was in that too. Whatever happened to her? There was a time when Jessica Biel and Jessica Alba were in every movie, but then they vanished. Legends say once every 100 years they returned to make Sin City or Elizabethtown. Ooh. The new Steam hardware? You mean like the Steam machine? You know what I think would be a cool pinball machine? Speaking of... this is my crazy, like... my crazy idea, but someone should make a Deep Space Nine pinball. Because, you know, eventually they're gonna shit out another Star Trek pinball. Just like they keep shitting out Star Wars pinball, so... that would be cool. Although I think several people from that show have died. Like, what's his face? The guy who played Odo, he died. He was the voice of Mr. House in Fallout, the video game, not the show. I haven't watched the show yet. I'm waiting for all the episodes to pile up. Because screw you, Amazon. Then I'll just binge it in a couple weeks. I can just binge it in one weekend. I miss binge watching things. I remember binge watching and lingerie. Babylon 5 pinball? Sure. Is there still an active Babylon 5 fan group? Oh, probably. There's an active fan group for everything. How about Farscape? Remember that one? Oh, you mean the... yeah, I noticed that. Like, if you watch, like... new Amazon shows, the advertisements are like just awful. If you just like watch something old, I mean they're all inexcusable, but like I watched some old movie on Amazon after they added that shit, and I think there might have been 2 commercial breaks in the whole thing, but like yeah, you watch their newer stuff, it's well, the thing is they want to return to cable. That is the goal, and they're pretty close. Eventually, there won't even be an ad-free tier of anything, or it'll be egregiously expensive. I kind of, you know, probably what it was is like, oh no, I was gonna say loss leader, but like Amazon or not Amazon, Netflix makes a lot of money. Well, other streamers probably don't make as much. It's like it was like this big race to like see who could lose the most money. A war of attrition. Oh yeah, you know we actually talked about Battlestar Galactica a lot of times. The 3 movies I always tell Spooky to make are as into pinballs is Lion King, Lion King, DuckTales, and Blade Runner. Those are the ones I always suggest. I think a pinball with like nice 2D Disney art would like look really great in people's homes. And obviously, like everyone loves Lion King, even though it's not that great of a movie, but everyone loves it. And like Blade Runner would be a home run for like the movie buff people. Like if you wanted to like guarantee that Adam Savage would invite you onto his show to talk about pinball, just like Labyrinth, yeah, Blade Runner. he'd be like, oh man, yeah, I'll give you all the free advertisement you want. I think Blade Runner is really overrated. But the thing is, it's definitely like a, for like hardcore movie geeks, it's definitely like a touchstone. Yeah, they probably would. But I don't know, like, if you're going to deal with Disney, like, you might as well make something that's, like, Disney, you know? Not Star Wars, like, you know, something Disney, like Lion King, or Pretty Woman, or Pulp Fiction. More fine Disney films. Oh, wait. I better check to make sure I remove that film on this one. Yeah, Blade Runner has been a big cult film for a very long time. I think it would work because, you know, the whole plot of the movie is like hunt down and kill 5 replicants. That's pretty much it. And then you can obviously you would make the game kind of look like this, like, you know, like neo-futuristic noir world, and you'd have like a spinner hover car thing, and put that snake lady on the back glass, and Yeah. And then on the match, it would be like, time to die. I think that would be a great theme. I mean, it's kind of niche, but yeah, like the people that are like hardcore movie buffs that would be into it are also, you know, probably higher income people too. Ah, it's still there. God. I suck. See, sometimes it's okay to make a more niche product if you know your customers are going to be more well off. It's kind of like here. Fun fact: did you know YouTube CPM scales based off the income of your viewers? Since Google knows everything about all of us, so if for some reason, like your channel is watched by a bunch of people who make like $150,000 a year, you're going to get a higher CPM or cost per mile or cost per thousand views than like a kiddie channel that has like, you know, broke kids watching it. Well, that probably makes up for it in volume, but yeah. Yeah, apparently there's like some like technical channels that get like $40 CPMs, which is crazy. I think I told this story last week, but I was at the bar and it wasn't very busy, and one of the guys there was like, "Can I get your opinion on something, Ben?" I was like, he's like, "What if we had like more pre-made? What do you think? What do you think if we had more pre-made ingredients for an old fashioned?" And I was like, "That is a terrible idea." And I was like, "You guys have really, really good old fashions, and you're also like an upscale bar. And if I saw someone just squirting these containers of juice into an old fashioned, it's going to make me think of some redneck bar up north. And the fact that you actually sit there and you model all the ingredients is part of the show, and also makes it taste better too." Yeah, so I was like, no, I don't think you should do that. Oh, I ordered the circuit boards for the MGC workshop today. We're gonna once again build the same product, but I actually was able to use my ST7789 V3 screens from China. Like I bought them like years ago, but they were like really cheap. So it was like $3.15 versus like the Wave shares. So we're gonna lower the price. I emailed Dan. I'm like, I think we could do this for $60. Inflation buster. So yeah, that's in MGC is late April. So if anyone's interested, the sign up for that will probably be like, I don't know, later this month or March. We're just gonna do 25 slots again. We had some like technical issues last year, but I'm sure this year it'll go more smoothly. Well, AI is an incredibly underrated film, but nobody would buy it as a pinball machine. Although it is a really good movie. I wish more people appreciated it. Well, apparently you do. Okay, so that is why X. Winchester's pretty cool. I played it down in Texas. No, not in Texas. I played it at the Chicago Pinball Festival or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got like the rotating house section. That was neat. 3 down for X. Spielberg made some great movies back then. He had like 3 bangers in a row. He had like AI, Minority Report, and Catch Me If You Can. I don't know how he made those movies so fast, but the only problem is all 3 of them are like too long. But they're good. Oh God, I was talking about AI some random dude at the bar like last month. I don't know how it came. Well, we were talking about movies, which often happens, and he was talking about AI, the movie AI, and he didn't realize at the end. He was like, "Yeah," and then at the end, those aliens showed up. I'm like, "Those weren't aliens." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, those were super evolved robots." He's like, "Whoa, dude! I never realized." And I'm like, yeah, the super advanced robots were doing archaeology of their own past. His mind was blown. Egg and his face were in alignment. Oh, man. That sponge water's looking pretty good right now. Kubrick's version? Was he gonna... I don't think Kubrick was ever gonna direct it, though. I think it was always gonna be Spielberg. But Kubrick died before they... Yeah, because Kubrick died right after Eyes Wide Shut, which was 2 years before... Yeah, it was 2 years before the movie AI. Yeah, AI is also one of only 2 movies that Spielberg also wrote the script for. I thought he did a pretty good job. The other one was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Google Gemini? Can you elaborate, Commodore Fan 64? really making another Mummy movie? I heard that they were doing that. Is Rachel Wise coming back in it? I think that computer is still running somehow. It doesn't want to die. It's like, no, no, don't kill it. It's like the end of Brave Little Toaster. It doesn't want to go into the crusher. I would think, like, really, like, someone the most worried about AI would be Google, because, I mean, AI is, like, just a much better version of Google. Google is basically just Reddit now. It's like the Reddit search engine. Although I guess that makes the internet even more dead. I told you to shut down. Why don't you listen to me? That computer has seen things you people wouldn't believe. All this RAM will be lost like tears in rain. Time to get Linux installed. Have you seen these reports that like Windows 10 adoption's actually going up? Is that true? Yeah, Spielberg hasn't made. I mean, what he did the West Side Story, but nobody went to it. Although, who was asking for a remake of West Side Story? Yeah, he hasn't really done a lot lately. I thought Ready Player One was pretty good. I expected not to like it because I just figured it was like, I never read the book, but I figured it was like just, I don't know. But the movie was pretty good. Like, I think Spielberg does futurism, like, well, he doesn't do that often, but when he has done it, he does it very well, like Minority Report and AI. So, you know. Tears in Rain as Gilbert Gottfried? All right, I'll try. But I'll definitely need to get a drink after, because I've seen things you humans wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire at Orion's belt. Sea beams glistening in Tannhäuser Gate. All these memories will be lost, like tears in rain. Time to die. There you go. Well, I thought that was pretty good. Didn't he die too? It sounds more like Danny DeVito. I start blasting. Well, if I think about Gilbert Gottfried, it would just be like an impression from Aladdin, I'm sure. Where he'd be like, Jafar, he's cracked, he's gone nuts. Oh no, I accidentally pushed, you know, if you push buttons on this in Windows 10 or 11, it like does Xbox stuff. Like that actually does a screenshot when you push the share button in Windows. He did die? Yeah, okay. You should, if there's this video where it's from the 90s and Gilbert Gottfried plays a smoke detector and like there's like a 10-year-old Lindsay Lohan in it and he's like, I'm a smoke detector. I hate smoke. And like Lindsay Lohan was like, I like smoking crack. Wasn't Gilbert Gottfried like one of those comedians who was like really raunchy until he got sucked through the Disney machine? I think people remember all these Robin Williams movies, but like he was like a really raunchy comedian before he like got Disney-fied. Hey, you know what? Speaking of that, you know what's another really good science fiction movie is Bicentennial Man. That actually is pretty good science fiction. It's kind of goofy. I don't know. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but if you haven't and you like science fiction movies, it's actually probably way better than you'd expect it to be. Yeah, Eddie Murphy was the same way. And then, you know, he made a bunch of, like, Nutty Professor movies. And, yeah. He stayed raunchy? Oh, that's good. Wait, he was the Affleck duck? Oh, I didn't realize that. Or maybe I just forgot. Wait, didn't they make another Beverly Hills Cop movie on Netflix? Or was it they made another Coming to I can't even keep track. Kill me. Wesley Snipes. Yeah, Wesley Snipes actually thought that like if you're an actor, you are basically a 1099 self-employed person. I mean, well, what kind of? So he got paid from like whatever for all his movies, but he didn't realize he actually had to file taxes on the money. See, what most of those guys do is they create like Ryan Reynolds Corporation. And then Disney pays Ryan Reynolds Corporation $20 million to make Deadpool 3. And then Ryan Reynolds Corporation pays Ryan Reynolds, I don't know, $7 million. So Ryan Reynolds pays, 36% or whatever on the $7 million. But Ryan Reynolds Corporation, what is the corporate tax rate? It's like 25%. And even then, like, America still has like one of the highest corporate tax rates in the world. So the corporation keeps most of the money because they pay a lower tax rate on it. But then Ryan Reynolds owns that corporation, so if he wants to take a divestment from it, he can. So, long story short, Wesley Snipes should have got a better lawyer. Bill Hicks? Who's Bill Hicks? Oh, yeah, I've seen Gilbert Gottfried Aristocrats, yeah. He probably did it better than anyone. Ugh. Oh, I need a nice drink of solder sponge water. Hot ham water. Bill Hicks. Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. He looks like Alex Jones. Okay. Ugh. Do 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 do. Yeah, don't buy any stocks. Buy gold. I think there's going to be a major correction coming in the stock market. I think it's going to be this spring pretty soon. So, yeah, I wouldn't maybe put money into the stock market like in summer or this fall, but I wouldn't do it now. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Taiwan Brown. Wow, I'm late for Paperclip Live, sponsored by Menards. How did the charity stream do? The charity stream went great. We made like $1,400, I think. And I finally managed to beat Shadow of the Ninja. And my sister was on the stream, so... And we played Shadow of the Ninja, then we also played like Super Mario 3. And then we did a pizza testing. But I'm not allowed. Why does everyone say I'm not going to give you financial advice? Is there some sort of rule with that? I mean, I don't get that. Like, why? I see that all the time. Do you need a license to give someone financial advice? I think it's going to be faster than a few years, Commodore fan. I think that's why you see stuff like with that RAM. It's like they'll sacrifice anything into the AI volcano because it's not even about AI at this point. It's about the illusion of like a good economy. And right now, you basically get like 5 companies just like pouring trillions and trillions, well, I mean, not trillions, but hundreds of billions of dollars into each other. And it's kind of like that Office where Jim drew a triangle on Michael Scott's pyramid scheme. And same thing, like if you make a chart of all these companies and how they're circularly investing in each other, it looks like circle, which also kind of looks like a bubble. And then Steve Carell shows up with a bad haircut and an autistic voice and says, "It's a bubble, it's a bubble." So which 2008 financial crisis movie do you think is best? The Big Short or Margin Call? Oh. Yeah, Kyle's. I'm thinking what you are. It's pretty close. Well, even Bitcoin's coming down right now. So, like, you had that huge gold rally, and then the silver rally was just because gold had gotten so high. Like, I thought about getting back into gold, but at a certain point, it's like, Jesus Christ, it's like $5,000. It's like more than I would want to spend, you know? So I think that's why a lot of people went to silver, because silver had been underpriced for a very long time, and once gold kind of hit I want to see, because I think gold's gonna. I think gold could hit like 10K by the end of the year. It'll definitely once all this other stuff happens, gold is gonna go pew stratospheric. But yeah, I don't know. Because the thing that they never talk about is just like the U.S. debt level is like insane now. It's like it was already basically an untenable situation before COVID, and now it's like more untenable. Like, what is it? Like the interest payment is like it's now the single greatest line item in the U.S. budget. It's greater than the military or Social Security. It's well over $1 trillion per year. Yeah. The giant Game Boy, Newark kept that. So the last I knew, that was in their offices down in Chicago. You know, I get asked that a lot, actually. Where is the giant Game Boy? The giant Game Boy is pretty fun. You think silver's going to go back down to 75? See, the thing I can't shake feeling with Bitcoin is, assuming that all conspiracies are true, because they seem to be, eventually I think what they're going to do is the United States will go to a central bank digital currency, and it'll be like a life hack to get rid of the debt. And if they do that, they're not going to want competition from Bitcoin, so they'll find a way to get rid of the Bitcoin. And yeah. And again, this happened in history in the 1930s when the Great Depression started. The Fed obviously already existed, so they cranked up the printer goes brr or whatever, and so they had to get rid of the competition. And that's actually when they seized gold and made it illegal for citizens to have gold. Think about how crazy that is. Like, oh, you can't have this gold. It's like, you can have a gun, but you can't have gold. But same thing, it was about competition. Like, you have to get rid of the competition. And Bitcoin would be a threat to central bank digital currency. I can't not see the patterns. What can I say? And I don't care what people think when I mention the patterns. Now you see, I actually I'm okay with the tariffs, because tariffs are the most constitutional. But actually, before the income tax, that's how our government was mostly funded, was through tariffs. Of course, back then we weren't like this global, overreaching military superpower either. Back in the well, before income tax, so early. Well, pretty much, first 140 years of our country's history. Oh, man, I could use a drink of water or High Life or something. A mini pinball for the Ben Heck show years ago. Do you think it's possible to make a pin that's half the size of... yeah, I don't see why you couldn't do it. I don't know how affordable it would be. I think I gave that mini pinball to Jesse Robinson. I think he still has it. That was a pretty fun project. I think we took that to a show in Austin. God, I can't remember. It was fun, though. Yeah, tariffs affect us first because, yeah, it's a tax charged by the United States government that goes into the Treasury. Oh. I think, like, there was, like, headlines on Friday where it's like, gold has its biggest crash since 1980. It's like, that, who cares? Like, the bigger story is how much gold has gone up. Like, gold was up, like, I don't know, $500 in January alone, and gold has literally doubled in less than 2 years. That's way more telling than a one-day crash after a ridiculous pump. Get rid of the income tax? Yeah, that's as pie in the sky as getting rid of property tax. Like, where the hell are you going to get the tax from? I don't even know how that would work. Like, would you have to... I don't even know how that would work. Like here, like, well, there's always a pie chart when I get my bill. It's like, the schools, that's like 50% of the tax, so... How would you fund the schools without property tax? I mean, I should be more against property tax since I, like, don't have a mortgage, and I can see how it would... I don't know how old people afford the taxes around here, but how would you fund this stuff, you know? I mean, well, maybe if they made the tax lower and then just funded the schools, I don't know. Oh, but the thing is, I was talking about, like, looking at land earlier. It's like, I, like, look at, like, pieces of land in buttfuck nowhere, Wisconsin, and the schools have a higher score on Zillow than the ones right here in tax world. I thought that's why we pay these high taxes for great schools. Apparently not. Like a head-to-head game? Yeah, there actually have been head-to-head pinball machines. Yeah, all my gold went right to the bottom of the lake along with all my guns. I don't even remember which lake it was. Man, that Gilbert Gottfried impression really took it out of me. Butt fuck. Yeah, I'm paying for something I don't use either, so you're welcome, mother parents, I guess. they really want to get rid of the population, they should just say, oh, if you don't have kids, your property tax is half. People already aren't having kids, but, you know, if you wanted to hurry up the process. Oh. Oh. I don't know, it's kind of like income tax. It's like you get so addicted to it, because income tax started as, so this is why this like, oh, billionaires taxing wealth, and that's a really bad idea. But like, income tax originally was like, oh, it's just for super rich people, and it trickled down pretty quickly. Although I'd argue you could say a property tax is, well, it is a tax on wealth because it's a tax of your property. See, the problem is, like, let's say you're like, oh, let's say Elon Musk has a net worth of, let's just say, $1 trillion. They're like, okay, well, we're going to have a 5% wealth tax on billionaires. I'm sure Gavin Newsom will push that as just how he's going to save Social Security. But that means, well, first of all, Elon Musk does not have $1 trillion. He has $1 trillion worth of stock. So what? He'd have to sell 5% of his stock position every year just to pay the tax. So how does that affect the value of the stock? Like, where are these buyers coming from? Like because someone has to buy that stock in order for him to pay this wealth tax. So who's going to do that? It's like not really well thought out. And then like eventually, like, you know, if you were just like a poorer rich person, like eventually you would have no wealth left. It's like, how many times can they tax the same frickin' dollar? Old books with kids named Barron Trump in them. Yeah. My son, he's a time traveler. He's the greatest time traveler you've ever seen. He's gone to all the times. Oh man, my mouth is dry. Bud, go get me a beer. Dig me a ditch 30 feet long. Oh, he did oppose it? Now that's good. I mean, if you want to, like, I mean, maybe if anything, create a higher tax bracket on income, but the wealth thing is just stupid. Because the thing is, you know, yeah, I mean, a lot of these billionaires, they have, I mean, all their wealth is in stocks. Down, right, up, left. Well, yeah, I'm sure Gavin Newsom knows that he'd lose even more citizens in his state if they did that. People would be moving to Texas even faster. Because California still has net negative migration. Like, they're going to lose, like, I think, what, 2 House seats in the next few years? Ugh. Well, no, Dylan, we're just saying it's kind of surprising that Gavin Newsom would be against a wealth tax. But, I mean, it would be, I mean, California would lose even more billionaires if they did that. So that's probably why he's against it, because there'd be more negative migration.
Fuck Deep Root. Oh, I was going to say one more thing about California. I thought about when I was taking a leak. So if California loses population, that means they lose House seats, which also means they lose electoral college votes. Because let's say your state has 10 electoral college votes, right? That's because you have 2 senators and 8 Congress people, right? So I actually think... I think California is actually going to lose like 2 seats in the House, which means they'd also go from like 55 EC votes down to like 53. So one political party would have slightly fewer automatic votes every election. Whereas a place like Texas is gaining population and Texas is the other way. Oh, all right. Oh, look. Yeah, Robert Mueller he's the I think he had like a civil lawsuit, but he also has the SEC coming after him, which would be criminal. Four seats? I mean, that's... Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, think about, like, if you were, like, Minnesota, if you lost 4 seats, that's 40... That would be 40%. Well, but... I mean, yeah, if you were, like, a regular-sized state, losing 4 seats would be a big deal. Because, again, you also lose electoral college votes. But yeah, so that's probably why Gavin Newsom is against that, because he knows he's already got like a really bad... Well, I mean, he doesn't care because he'll probably be president in 2 years, but his state has like a really bad... yeah, it's losing people. Looks good. Yeah, GST. That's probably the actual reason why Gavin was like, "Well, I'm going to redistrict my own state," as if he hasn't done that before. But that's probably why, because California actually, if you look at like maps, like there's very large sections of California that are quite red, and they're actually growing. So that's probably actually why he wants to redistrict. It's not because of like what the Texans or Trump is doing. It's because of California, yeah, losing seats. So they probably want to, yeah. Well, yeah, California is relying on the wealthy because that's all they have. They have rich people and they have homeless people. And like the middle class is gone out there. Let's see. Okay, so that's those. So what could we do for like 30 more minutes? I could probably attach the wires to these. I'm gonna probably get out of here by 10. So I can, yeah, hang out in the garage for a bit maybe. If it's not too cold. When Trump dies, the GOP will be obliterated. I don't know about that. I would say
when Trump dies, the Democrats are going to have to actually offer something to voters other than we hate Trump. That being said, I'm definitely sick of that guy. It's like, Jesus Christ, there's other things in the world besides some like orange game show host. It's like, God, I'm just sick of hearing about him 24/7 for like 10 years. I was sick of him before that. Like, he had like that Apprentice show, and he'd be like on the show standing there with all his like sugar babies and stuff. It's like, this guy is a windbag. All right, let's attach these analog joystick things. Yeah, Vance might be the first vice president in many decades who's actually smarter than the president, because usually it's quite deliberately the other way around. Oh, that's good. Who knows what goes on in the garage? Only the shadow knows. The Trump phone. It's a solid gold phone. Yeah, that's true. Like, Nancy Pelosi will still be in Congress long after Trump's gone. Like, AOC will be in Congress until she's Nancy Pelosi's age. It is kind of crazy. You know, it wasn't that long ago that there were no term limits for presidents. It's not like it was enshrined in the Constitution. Actually, it was an amendment to the Constitution. So maybe we could do that for everyone in government. That'd be nice. Although maybe it would make it worse. They'd be like, oh, I can only be a senator for 16 years? I better get even more back deals and get a bunch of money from special interests and then suddenly become rich. So yeah, maybe that would become even worse. Because they'd have to like get their bag as quick as possible. Yeah, it wasn't when FDR won his third term. That's actually when they changed it. When they actually said, "Oh, yeah," because every other president just only won more. They just won like 1 to 2 terms and then like didn't, or something, or were replaced. FDR was just the first president who was like alive and popular enough, even though he died. But yeah, he just was the first one to manage a three-peat. There was another president who had 2 non-consecutive terms like Trump. I can't remember who it was. It might have been like Garfield. I hate Mondays. It's crazy. There's only been one Catholic president, and then look what happened to him. Oh, it was Grover Cleveland. Okay. Well, FDR was really popular anyway because he had the the New Deal. That was a big deal. You know, like another one that's been kind of like lost to history or like rewritten is like how popular Nixon was. Until Watergate, he was like actually one of the most popular presidents that had ever existed. Like everyone talks about Reagan's 1984 victory, but like Nixon's re-election in 1972 was almost as big. Stop overthinking that connection. I don't think Trump could get a third. That's impossible because it's a constitutional amendment that you can't do it. Also, well, he's already too frickin' old, and he would be. Again, we have 3 ex-presidents the same age right now, which, if you think about it, shouldn't happen. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 presidents. Yes, because Clinton, Bush 2, and Trump are the same age. God. Yeah, so yeah. Well, Carter's dead. Biden's still alive. Biden's a million. So of all the existing presidents, they're all like 79, and Obama's like what? Alexa, how old is Barack Obama? I'm gonna guess 62.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Alexa, how old is Barack Obama?
Barack Obama is 64.
Oh, I was so close.
4th, 1961 in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Now, let me be clear, that was my age. Well, they should also definitely have, because there's a minimum age for presidents, 36, I think. So there should definitely be a maximum age for presidents, and also driver's licenses. Do I think Alexa is spying on me? I think my Android phone is far worse. I've definitely seen far more occasions of my phone doing that than this thing. There was one time I was at the bar. What an amazing, right? Who would have thought the story would start that way? So I'm in a bar, right? So it's kind of noisy. It wasn't like super busy, but it was a bar. And I think my phone was like laying on the bar, but it was quote unquote off. And there's a doctor, well, PA there. So we were like talking. We were talking about E.T. and how on his home planet they do proctology exams with their fingers, their glowing fingers. That was what we were discussing. So like 2 or 3 of us were having this discussion. And then one of the guys went to the bathroom. So, of course, you do the thing where, like, when one person goes to the bathroom, you look at your phone. And that quickly, like, I just went to YouTube, and it was recommending, it was like, toy review, glowing E.T. finger attachment from 1982. That was probably the fastest I've ever seen it do one of those. And it was like, that was like 5 minutes. I actually saw one. Speaking of Amazon devices, it was my Kindle of all things. I was reading this book called New World Inc., which was about how the founding of America was, entirely driven by, profits. Well, what a shock, right? And there was a chapter in the book that was pretty much about like this. Well, because it's talking about colonial times, and it was like, oh, then during this time, the whole chapter like kept talking about the sweating sickness. That was in Europe. And it was like, oh, blah, blah. That was like the whole chapter was like just focused on that. And then like a day or two later, I was on YouTube, and it was suggested a video for me about like the 1700 sweating sickness, and I'm like, I just read about that in that Kindle book, and I'm like, I never get videos like that. Like I don't get videos about like, like swordsmen or anything like that. Or like medieval times or Roman times. So I would never get a video about like random sickness. I don't get random videos about the Black Death. And I was like, this is probably like 5 or 6 years ago. And I'm like, that's quite a coincidence that I was just reading about that in this Kindle book. So maybe the Kindle also everything sells your data. Yeah. But the one I see the most is conversations I'll have with my phone present, and then I'll get YouTube recommended videos. Like, well, in that case, like 5 minutes later. But that happened so quickly that when one of the guys came back to the bathroom, I held up my phone. I'm like, look, see, these things spy on you. Well, yeah, Alexa's always recording because that's like when you see people who will be like, Alexa, play music. They'll like do this pause, but they don't realize she's always recording.
Here's a custom mix just for you.
Alexa, stop. But yeah, she's always recording, and then she just like looks for the wake word. But I'm sure it's much worse than that. I tried the new Pringles can AI. I was like, would you like to try the new AI? And I tried it, and it was trying to sound like more conversational, but for some reason it made it sound even more artificial. It's hard to explain. And then it asked me if I wanted to thank my driver, and I said, no, they probably have better health insurance than I do. And it was like, that's an interesting response, but you probably should still thank them. And I was like, okay, that's it. You're out of here. And so I switched it back. How do you short the AI bubble? Buy gold! Yeah, Michael, I could see that. I've often wondered, like, if the tone of voice you respond in affects it as well. Doesn't it sometimes call 911 as well? I've heard of that. I guess that would probably be like a Fourth Amendment issue, wouldn't it? Like, if you like hit your kid, does that machine have the right or the? Well, or probably like buried in the fine print. It would say that. I know it's kind of dark, but I'm sure it happens. Or it's like your phone. You're like where your phone's like, you have been in an accident. Would you like me to call and order Taco Bell? You have been in an accident.
You have 1 point left on your license. Oh. Wait. Did I send that order? I had to buy more of these black refurbed controllers. Something is going on with Xbox. Like, I have not been able to buy like brand new white controllers in 7 months. Oh, did I not send this order? Yeah, see, they have some red ones, but they don't have any. They have like red ones and refurbished black ones. They don't have any white ones. They have other like gaudy looking like neon green colors that nobody would want. Yeah, actually, I should probably order this. Let's see. I thought I already ordered this. All right. When I left Amazon, I purged all my Amazon devices. Yeah, because he knew how the sausage was made, huh? A lower carbon delivery, get 6% back. Sure, why not? Ugh. Yeah, I have a feeling that they're gonna just like license out the Xbox name to like Asus or ROG or something. Oh wait, Asus is ROG. Yeah, it definitely feels like something's up. Because remember, Microsoft only really had one successful console generation, and they had to like replace half of them with bad rings of death. I don't know. Also, you know, it's a services company now, like everything else, so I'm sure they don't want to be in hardware. I think the big push is going to be like virtual windows. Like, I don't want to say the RAM thing is a conspiracy. Well, it probably is, but like I don't think they even want you to have a computer. They just want it to be in the cloud, and then you'll really not, you know. It's like, oh wow, you want to install that, huh? I don't know. Yep, exactly, Dylan. Actually, some guy emailed me today because I told him his controller order would probably take a couple more weeks. So I was backed up. That's why I'm doing this on a Sunday night as well, because I'm backed up. But he mentioned there's some sort of device where you can plug these into you can plug these into a device, and then it will also work on the PlayStation 5. And he's like, you should probably tell your customers this. You'd sell more. And I'm like, yeah. Because I'm sure I'm selling less because it's only on the Xbox. Yeah, I should look into that. I don't know if that's like one of those Titan things. Because a lot of times, like the same equipment that people use to cheat could also be used for accessibility. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. But these are the easiest controllers to mod. Like PlayStation 5 is so much more difficult. Game, sir? Does Azure really make that much money? I thought AWS was like the top cloud service. If I sold M80s. Oh, actually, yeah, I got a repair here. He said both the analog sticks have drift and something else. So
Yeah, but good thing I have like this huge pot of OEM sticks that I used Hall effects in place of all of these. Although the Hall effects were kind of acting flaky too. Maybe I need to find a slightly less cheap Hall effect. These are like $5 a piece. I only have one left. Oh, really? Azure? Huh. I didn't realize Azure had that much of a foothold. Is Azure just hosting, or is it like host computing or something? I don't know. Because AWS is basically just servers, right? Amazon Web Services. Oh, I'm sure it's more complicated than that. Oh, AWS is 70%? Wow, that's quite a bit. Amazon is quite the company store, isn't it? And now you can get your prescription pills from Amazon. And soon you'll be able to get a house from Amazon. And it's by and large. Azure is Linux-based? Oh, wow. I bet you Windows will be Linux-based eventually. Like maybe when it's in the cloud. I gotta get my house delivered next day. Do you ever make the STL files for neighbor handheld case? I think you got a typo there. I'm not quite sure what you mean. PMCE. Yeah, well, wasn't there a big Amazon outage a couple weeks ago? Remember that? That was AWS, wasn't it? That was after the Cloudflare one. That was a couple months ago, right? Amazon is just a new Sears. Yeah, eventually, 100 years from now, it'll be like, what happened to Amazon? Oh, Neo Geo case? Which one? Do you mean the Neo Geo portable I made like 6 or 7 years ago? Next Gen Atlas robot? No, I did not see that. Did it get into a fight with the Elon bot? Oh. Oh, really? That's not good. Bud. Are you ready to go upstairs soon, bud? Are you a derpy cat? Derpy cat. Derpy cat. This cat is a derpy cat. Human. Walmart, huh? Oh yeah, don't they have like Walmart Spark delivery? It seems like Amazon is like, I still think Amazon used the pandemic to get people used to slower shipping, because before COVID, everything was like 2 days guaranteed. And now it's kind of wishy-washy. I don't know. It seems more random now. And before COVID, we didn't even have an Amazon distribution here in Madison. Now we do. It's like 3 miles north of me. There is some stuff I can get same day, but it's not much. The Janet 2600 portable. I don't... Was that... I don't think... That wasn't entirely 3D printed. That had, like, some laser stuff. Yeah, that was, like, 3D print plus laser plus CNC. Yeah, it was all 3. Because it had, like, a wooden... It had, like, wood... It had a wooden piece in the middle that was CNC'd. And then it had, like, some panels that were laser cut. And then the front of it was laser cut plastic with, like, a trillion layers of triple thick on it. And then I think the case itself was 3D printed. Oh, I can't remember. I don't know, something like Amazon, it's like, because we were talking about science fiction earlier, right? It's like, oh man, where did the Weyland-Yutani Corporation come from? Or where did the Tyrell Corporation come from? And then you like look at something like Amazon, it's like, oh, that's probably where it comes from. Because Sears was never a technology company. I'm like, because Amazon is like Sears plus technology, so it's even scarier. But it's so convenient. I wonder what's worse, like all the Amazon boxes or me driving to Walgreens. Actually, the worst part is me driving to Walgreens, because I go into Walgreens and it's like, am I the only person in here who's not using meth? Yeah, I think they did like 16,000 people go from like corporate or something, or I don't know if they were developers or not. See, I think what these companies have to think about is like, oh, we're going to use AI to save the economy, but it's like, but if there's no one left to buy anything, what's the economy? Are you going to sell things to the AI? Well, how do you sell things to a robot? Well, you got to make the robot have desire and greed, and you got to give the robot a whole bunch of negative human traits, and you've got Skynet. I mean, Sears was pretty much dead even in the 90s when Amazon started. I mean, because, you know, Walmart obviously did a ton of damage to Sears. I mean, Sears had a pretty good run. I mean, we have no idea if Amazon will last as long as Sears. I mean, statistically, it probably won't. I mean, how many companies have been around that long, right? Like, what's left? Wells Fargo? Like, I don't know, what is the oldest company in the world? Who knows? Sears was number 1 until 1989. That's 1 year after Walmart came to my small town. Welcome to Walmart. All are welcome. Yeah, I actually got yeah. I actually bought this screwdriver from a Sears. You know what it was? It was when was it? It was, there used to be a used game store in Madison on the southwest side. I don't remember the name of it. And they had an Atari 2600 Junior. That might have been the first time I found, like, actually, the first 2600 Junior I ever bought, I think it might have been from that store. The first one I ever bought had the one chip in it. So I was like astronomically lucky. And that's the one that actually sat in the junk drawer for like 18 years. But I remember I I either bought it or I was going to buy it. And so I went to the Sears in West Town Mall and I bought this screwdriver. And then I drove like half a mile back to the store so I could immediately take apart the Atari that I just bought. And then I was like, wow, it's a one chipper. Oh yeah, USA, and that would have been like what, 2001 probably? Yeah. Yeah, this is probably like my, well, let's see, my favorite screwdriver, second favorite screwdriver, third favorite screwdriver, the original tweezers from the first Atari Portable, and then this was shortly after. So there you go. Are my hands looking? Well, I am really pasty, and I'm under LED lights. Yes, they don't look as they don't look as blue in person. A Klein ratchety and multi-bit driver. Well, I had this one for a long time too. This one was from I think I got this at the Verona Ace Hardware. Like all of the bits fell out though. So, oh well. Still works pretty good. Yeah, I've had a lot of these tools along. I've had these since the 90s. Yeah, what else is here? Ah, this stuff's not as old. These are useful. I got my big Nippics, my small Nippics. Nippics are great. Like, you should definitely get Nippics. More Nippics. My big channel locks. Small channel locks. Newer tweezers that I like more. Oh, that's most everything. Wait, what's this? Oh, no, man. That's pretty much all the main ones. Plus the ones in my garage. Oh, Jiggly, these go back. Yeah, these, well, not this guy. Made in Germany. Here's how we make tools in Germany, Dr. Jones. Yeah, these are not that guy. These are, well, not this guy. These are ancient. I've had these since like 1985. Like just absolutely ancient. This wasn't even mine. I think this was my stepdad's. Where's the rest? Well, this is the best one. I've had this guy forever. Put you all back where you belong. Love, lift us up where we belong. It's okay though. I have dupes of these. Someone's grandpa died and they sent me his Archer set. So if these ever break, I don't know if that would ever happen, I have new dupes. This one's like lost all its color. But you know how it lasts forever? Made in Japan. All the best stuff's made in Japan. A Craftsman socket you found on the way to school in the 1960s. Wow. Yeah, I have all my dad's stuff in the garage too. So yeah, it's the same thing. It's all 1960s Craftsman and Snap-on. There's like ratchets out. Yeah, there's like ratcheting ones. It's so sexy. It's like it's like a revolver. It's like it sounds so good. That was back where they made everything out of real steel. Yeah, is there still a lifetime warranty on Craftsman's tools? Like, who would even? Didn't they get bought by Black and Decker or some other? Isn't Black and Decker and DeWalt owned by the same company now too? Ugh. And there's like one plant in China that's making Black and Decker and DeWalt and Milwaukee. Yeah. Are the tools old Commodore Fan 64? Oh, 1950s. Nice. Even better. It'd be cool to get would be like a really, really old cast iron skillet. I bought one at a... Oh, what was it? It was at a tractor... Wait, was that a tractor show? Yes, it was at a tractor show a couple years ago. Yeah, and this guy had a... Of course, that place was like an enormous flea market. And this dude had a... Yeah, he had a whole bunch of old cast iron that he'd like refinish, and I bought I want to say it's like this. So it's like a 9-inch cast iron. I don't know if I think I made eggs in it once. I just thought it was cool. And then actually it turned out that he had redone the gymnasium at the high school that's low rated, just like 5 blocks from here. And where was this tractor show at? It was, oh Christ, where was it? Baraboo, I think. Yeah, I guess it was in the same part of it. Yeah, so that's not that unusual. Well, actually, I bought several things at that show. I bought an LED light. I bought like an old, like 1950s creeper, to go under cars. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Black and Decker bought Sears tools. Okay. Oh no, there's tons of like ancient cast iron skillets, and no matter like you can find one that's been in a mud puddle for 100 years, and you can still restore it. There's like videos on YouTube of people that do that. It's pretty cool. Oh, nice, a Lodge. Yeah, I have one of those. Wait, yes, I have a Lodge as well. Yeah, that's my daily driver. Yeah, I probably use my... Oh, how often do I use it? I use it quite a bit. Yeah, I used it this morning. Yeah, I like it. All right, well, I'm probably going to bounce here in just a second, but thanks to everyone who stopped by. And yeah, I'll be back again tomorrow night because I need to get this... I'm pretty sure, yeah, I can easily finish this 4-banger order tomorrow night. Then I got to move on to some other orders. Next week, I believe I'm going to be at Spooky Pinball on Monday, so there won't be a stream a week from Monday, but there'll be one tomorrow night. Yeah, cast iron works good. I like it. It like retains a lot of heat. They're heavy though. Like I'm not like super strong, so like if I pick one up, it's like ooh. If my wrist is limp. Uh-oh. Bud, are you a restless lion who is no longer sleeping tonight? All right, we'll catch you guys next time. Good cat. Scary face! Are you scary? Oh, a shaking cat.